Kimani Ichungwa, we all know that is a member of Parliament of Kikuyu and the majority leader of the Republic of Kenya's National Assembly, led by Moses Wetangula. This is also a close friend of President William Ruto. Now, Kimani Ichungwa was the host of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Kindiki, in Kikuyu town, and something strange happened. That is a clear indication that Kimani Ichungwa does not have the ground. It is terrible in Mount Kenya region. On this particular video here, I want to take you through step by step on why Kimani Ichungwa was heckled right in front of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, that is Kindiki. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, take a second or two to subscribe, like and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. My number is always here for those who want to inform me on anything politically that I need to analyze here, or even share with me on some opinions that I cannot personally have. Please do so and feel free to engage me. Now, my number also can be used to support the channel. In case you want to support it, you can always feel free. Let me dive into the topic today. Why is it that Kimani Ichungwa was heckled at Kikuyu town, his own constituency? Remember, first of all, let me take you through a brief history. Before the crowd comes to receive the Deputy President or any Kenya Kwanza leader, these people, it is very clear that it's alleged that most of these people are paid huge amounts of money to attend such kind of functions so that they can cheer. But now, despite these people being paid and told what to do, they still come on board and heckle the same person who paid them. That was so unfortunate. In the presence of Kindiki. What does that mean? First of all is this. The reasons that made this gentleman to be booed or heckled, it's because of the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. I feel strongly that William Ruto could have done it different. Not just impeachment. Something else could have happened. Maybe even ignore Rigathi Gachagua, other than just having him impeached. But that is not even important at this point. The most important thing, or significant thing here is that Kimani Ichungwa was in support and seriously campaigned in support of the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, who now looks like the darling of the people of Mount Kenya region. So what do you expect at that point? People to see him as a traitor. And that is why he was heckled in front of the Deputy President, Kindiki, which was a big shame. Secondly, is the Finance Bill 2024. This Finance Bill 2024, Kimani Ichungwa was very carelessly uttering words right, left and center statements, which were angering Kenyans seriously. And I feel that people went to the street because of some of the words that, or maybe statements that were made by this gentleman, Kimani Ichungwa. So therefore, when you see people heckle him, they have a history and they have not forgotten. So the fact is, Kimani Ichungwa has literally lost the ground. Lost it completely. So as we speak today, the point is clear that Kimani Ichungwa support for the finance bill also resulted to that kind of heckling and booing. Also, the other thing is the ignoring the people's concern. Kimani Ichungwa, there can be a concern of people, for instance, the cost of living in the country. He comes out and says the cost of living, it is okay for Kenyans. That kind of ignorance makes people hate him, makes people dislike him more. You cannot be careless with the electorate. They show one simple thing. You are showing one simple thing, that you don't consider, you in Kiswahili we say unawadharau. So when you ignore people that way, and then they feel that unawadharau, that is the first thing that comes to your mind when they see you. This guy, despite being this and that, anatudharau. So when you are heckled, it's as a result of the background that people have about you. Because I'm sure at that point, there's nothing wrong that he did. He did not even attack Rigathi Gachagua, unless he did and I didn't hear that. But the fact is, as we speak today, that you cannot ignore people and then expect them to respect you. Also, another thing I want to say is this. It is Kindiki's effect. You cannot expect Kindiki to be loved and respected by the people, yet they did not elect him. Nobody elected Kindiki. He was elected by William Ruto. Nobody elected him. So he does not have the popularity of the people. And now Kimani Ichungwa trying so hard to sell him against the people, the person the people elected, who is Rigathi Gachagua. It is not easy at all. It becomes difficult for either the sitting government or even the incumbent, whichever people. It's difficult to sell someone the people do not want. The people did not elect at first. The only thing that could have happened, William Ruto could have selected Kindiki before, present him to the people of Mount Kenya for them to elect him or reject him. Ladies and gentlemen, the other thing that made Kimani Ichungwa to be booed to that extent in front of Kithure Kindiki, it is also the poor performance of President William Ruto. We cannot really say no that the cost of living is not high. It is high. People are still straining. People don't have money in their pockets. People are struggling right, left, and center. And that's a big problem in this country. So Kimani Ichungwa being part of the laws that are being passed in parliament, it's a clear indication that he's also getting the wrath of the people of Kenya because of the pain that William Ruto has inflicted on Kenyans based on high taxes and also the cost of living. So he's also now a victim of the people's anger. This is what people would like to show William Ruto. This is what people like to show in a leader who is not performing. Now, Kimani Ichungwa, being the most vulnerable, is now facing the wrath of these people. You remember first time he was heckled in Nyandarua, he was heckled in Githunguri. That means very well that it is not easy for Kimani Ichungwa. And this guy, whenever he comes out, he never shows any form of remorsefulness. He comes out to speak with a lot of kiburi. And that is really power. But the fact remains that he is not learning from his mistakes. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from that, I think it is Gachagua effect. We have to openly admit that Gachagua has set the mood in the Mount Kenya region. Gachagua has ensured that the Mount Kenya people are getting the mission straight. They are understanding the mission of the people of the Mount Kenya as we speak. They are understanding what Rigathi Gachagua wants. They know the mood of Kenya is to take William Ruto home. So whoever who is closest to William Ruto faces the consequences. Now, this Kimani Ichungwa is one of the closest associates of William Ruto. And he has been the most careless leader supporting President William Ruto. And that means very well that if there's someone who's going to face the wrath of Rigathi Gachagua, it is Kimani Ichungwa. If he goes for the seat that is holding right now in 2027, there's a likelihood that he's going to be kicked out. Why? If there is where strength is going to be channeled to, it is Kikuyu. It's Kikuyu because that is the place where Kimani Ichungwa is the member of parliament. And if there's someone people want him to go home, it is actually Kimani Ichungwa. And I doubt if the DCP is going to take over in Mount Kenya region. I doubt whether Kimani Ichungwa is going to survive. But I know very well that probably William Ruto wins, he can be able to appoint him to a certain position, ministerial position maybe perhaps. But the fact is, Kimani Ichungwa is almost 50+% sure that come 2027 is likely to go home. And this kind of environment that he's seeing, it's a clear indication that he has to be very careful or else he's going home. He has to be very careful on how he talks to the people, or he has to avoid some things. He has to avoid on how he talks, not just at the ground, but also in parliament, because Kenyans across board are watching Kimani Ichungwa closely. Closely. I don't know what's your take as far as Kimani Ichungwa is concerned, but as for to me, I feel that completely Kimani Ichungwa has given a shape of the majority in the Kenyan parliament as the most poor performing parliaments in this country. Poor performing majority leader. Almost someone who is like a puppet of the president, always giving the orders in parliament regardless of the effect on the common man. And that it needs to change seriously. I don't know what's your take. Let me see in the comment section what you think.